all know no one could tell a story as good as John Robert Breckles. So here's the stories from the man himself.
Where were you?
Oh, I would be in, I was in Rosemount, and I was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, something like that in that area. Probably, we had, it was a nice place to live when I was very young. We had played a lot of street hockey. Probably because we played year after year. I had some goalie pads. And we also used to go over to the French school, and we would play hockey against the police. And when they were finished teaching at 4 o'clock, they would come out with their black robes on, and we would play hockey against them. And those guys could really fly with their gowns flowing out the back. And we used to go to the boys and girls club, which was brand new at the time. Of course, I played a lot of hockey and not baseball.
So where would you play hockey? In an outdoor arena?
We played hockey
arena?
We played hockey in the outdoor arena in those days. We didn't have indoor arenas to play in.
And so was there just one rink you'd go to at a park in Rosemount?
No, there was two. We would go to two different rinks. One with the school, and then one put out by the city. Oh yeah, and we used to fight the French. Forgot about that. They would fight us, and we would fight them, and not like they fight today with guns. We would throw rocks at them, stuff like that, and they would throw stuff back at us. In those years, we had moved. My dad had left me at the age of 12. And I did a lot of work in drugstores, delivering newspapers, the butcher shop. And then we moved from there. We moved over into Côte-des-Neiges area, my mother, my brother, and myself. And that's when I took sick. And I ended up in the hospital, up in a place called Saint-Agathe-des-Monts, which is up north of Montreal in the Laurentian Mountains. And I was up there for 12 months, 11 months actually. I was 1 month in the hospital in Montreal, and then they sent me up there, so a total of 12 months. And my wife, Barbara, used to come up there and visit me every Sunday. And she never failed, not that I can remember. And she'd walk about a mile and a half over to the train, take the train down into Montreal, walk over to the bus depot, and take the bus up to Saint-Agathe. And that was like there and back again. It was an all-day affair. And she did that every Sunday. And then I got all over that, and I might have had a chance in hockey. They were looking at me, but once I took sick, that was over with.
Tell them what you took sick with.
I had pleurisy. When I was sick, I had pleurisy on the right side. And they keep you in the hospital for 12 months, which I think is unnecessary. And I was very young at the time, and I was taking 32 pills a day. And I remember most of the people in there were old. We used to sleep outside in the building, but outside, all screened in, no heat. And we would go to bed with toques on, gloves on, socks on, and as heavy pajamas that we could get. Oh, yes. Grandma just reminded me, one of the things too was that when I growing up, I wasn't a child at the time. I played hockey, one game, in St. Vincent de Paul Penitentiary against the prisoners. And as we're starting the game, we line up, and the left winger on their team yelled out, "Come on, killer, let's beat these guys." Well, we found out afterwards that he had killed his mother-in-law, and that's why he was in jail. And in 1978, with the problems that we were having in Quebec, I wanted my two boys to get a decent education. So I promised my wife that if Sun Life ever moves out of Montreal to Toronto, then that is all I need and I will move too. And I said that I used to say to people that Sun Life is a little bit smarter than the Bob Breckles. And they announced the move on January the 6th in 1978. And after I phoned my wife, and my wife said, "It's not true, blah, 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 blah." And I don't want to use the words that she chose. And then hung up, and about 2 minutes later, she calls me back and she said, "It's on the radio." And it was. We went to this castle, Limerick. I just thought of it, and I couldn't think of it.
There you go, Limerick.
Limerick.
Yeah.
And when we first off we went on a train, and they gave us lunch on the train, a box lunch on it. We really had a super time.
Yeah.
And then we got to the train station. Then we had to take a bus. Now there was 2 buses for us. So our guy stops. He's following the other bus, and he stops because that guy stopped. Well, what happened is that somebody had to go to the bathroom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's fine. Now and we're trying to get our driver to go. Why wait for those guys? You know what I mean? And he said, "No, sir, we've got to wait for them. We got to go in there together." And now we found out why after. It was a winding road up to the castle and a golf course all around it. As we're going up this road, the bus stopped, and over here was all your hounds. We continued up the road, and everybody that worked in that castle, there was a walkway with stones. They were lined up
On both sides.
on both sides,
Yeah.
the people that worked in that castle,
Oh, wow.
greeting us,
Yeah.
right? So now we get in, we can't go to our rooms.
Okay.
They won't allow us. And then later on in the week, we're out and we come back in to our room about 5 o'clock, and here is 2, oh shit, what do you call them? The clothing, honey.
Full times.
Medieval
Oh,
time.
so like a.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we see these things on the bed. We walk in the room. What is this? Right? So we all get dressed up. Now now I know why. Before going, they asked for my size, jacket
And
size.
for my size too.
And here I thought that maybe they were going to give me a jacket, a sports jacket or something. But no, that was not the reason. The reason was they know the size of this clothing.
Yeah.
And there was roughly, was there 100 of us, wasn't there? Or was
Yeah.
it 200? It was, say 100. Not one costume was the same.
Oh, wow.
They're all different.
Everyone was different.
Yeah.
And so we had our drinking there, and then we left there and we went over to another castle, and they put on a big show for us and gave us supper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was a nice time.
So then, Grandpa, what was your favorite thing about living at Ballantrae?
I would have to say the people.
Yeah, the people and the different things, you know.
I ran a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Football game to Buffalo, and pizza putts. We play miniature pizza over here, miniature putting over here. One year I had 95 people come out. Once a month from May to September, inclusive. We played mixed golf. Our husband and wives or girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever they want. And I'd get about 130 on the average. And then Thursday mornings, I organized men's golf, and I would get about 30 men out every month, every week. And then we'd have this mixed one once a month. And at that mixed one, I would have a complete full course dinner, jokes. I would MC it, and the jokes became a joke.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I said, "Okay, guys, listen up now," ooh, they knew what was coming, and it turned out to be so funny. But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's really.
You know, we're not sorry. We've had a good life
Yeah.
together.